Right. 6 May 2025. And today I'm going to be giving you the update for this morning, one of the most important days ever in the history of Zimbabwe. And this is because there is said to be a surprise impeachment of Mnangagwa, and Mnangagwa is ready. He is waiting to be impeached today. The reason why Mnangagwa is being impeached is because of the corruption, the massive corruption taking place in Zimbabwe. And this was started by war veteran, Blessed Geza. So Blessed Geza and other war veterans have called for parliament to impeach Mnangagwa. And this is going to take place today. You're going to see the tabling of a motion of impeachment. A lot of people are ready for this impeachment. And we're going to see by the end of the day, if someone would have tabled the motion, it is expected that there's been a secret lobby that has taken place across all the MPs and also senators for the removal of Mnangagwa. This started last month before Mnangagwa closed Parliament and Senate unexpectedly, and also started to give MPs and senators pieces of land to bribe them not to go into the impeachment. However, it is believed that Mnangagwa is going to be impeached because the war veterans have done a lot of groundwork, and the military is also in support of the impeachment. So Blessed Geza has been quiet. The war veteran hasn't said anything, but it is clear that today is going to be a big day. If nothing happens, if there's no impeachment, it's also a big thing. If there's an impeachment, it's a big thing. So either way, it is the big thing today that is going to happen. There is not going to be lack of an event. So as soon as Parliament opens, we're going to see a maneuver from both sides. Because if nothing happens, it means it's a reset of everything. So let me tell you what is expected. What is expected is that a joint sitting of Senate and Parliament is going to be called, and a motion of impeachment is going to be tabled, and a simple majority is required for Mnangagwa to be removed. So if that is passed, then a committee will be set up, after which an investigation will be carried out, and then finally there will be a requirement for a 2/3 for Mnangagwa to be removed in the second sitting after the recommendation of the committee. So we are waiting for this to happen. I'm so excited, and I've been talking to a lot of people in Parliament. This is going to happen. The question is, who is going to table that motion? And has that document already been put through? Since the Parliament was closed, then it's probably going to be done in another way, not through a normal process. So my understanding is that someone can just stand up and table the motion right there in Parliament. So I hope that this happens. People are tired of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa ari kuuraya vanhu nenzara. Right, so I hope that that happens, and I'll be here to tell you about it. Today we'll be monitoring the environment to see if Mnangagwa is going to be removed. Right, let's see what else is there today. I want to quickly go through the news. Guys, what is happening is very sad. So this story here, so I'll take like 5 minutes. This young lady is trending. That is because some members of the Central Intelligence Organization have abused her, and they pretended to be people who are providing her with a job. So she is bravely decided to go public about what happened to her, and she is in court with these people that have abused her. 2 members of the Zimbabwe intelligence are involved. And if you go to online platforms, she has issued a video where she talks about what has happened to her. So this is the video here. You can go to any platform. You'll be able to see where she's talking about what happened to herself. Unfortunately, some people don't believe it. And I think people should stop not believing women. If a woman says she was abused, then you must at least give her a chance. So she's in court. And if you go to the H Metro newspaper, you will see that they've carried a story on her. So if you go to H Metro, so let's quickly go to H Metro. She's not going to be anonymous. She's going to be public. She's going to defend what is a story in public. So if you've got any doubts, and remember, this is going to cost a marriage. So most guys, when this happens, they run away from their wives. So imagine if someone goes out, let's say your wife was involved, you would probably not be able to handle this. So my Jeremiah waives rights to anonymity. So she's not going to be anonymous. She's going to talk in public about what happened to her with these people. Right, so let's see what else is here. Man calls lover, his husband, to tell him he is dating his wife. So 2-year adulterous relationship between an immigration officer and a police officer's wife has exploded into the open after the boyfriend somehow decided to reveal the affair to his friend, to his girlfriend's wife. So this is what has happened. Go check it out in the H Metro newspaper. Vafana mazuano avagoni kurova muri kujairirwa. If your boyfriend yemukadzi wako phones you, ndoda kukupa mapointers, unofanira kubata tsaga iyeye womukiya zvekuti pe. Saka handizi kuti why vanhu vemazuva ano muchijairirwa zvakadai. It's like you, would you call your girlfriend's husband? That's crazy. So go and read that in the H Metro newspaper. Very interesting stuff. Now let's go to Herald Zimbabwe. Herald Zimbabwe, very interesting today. Remember, they're supposed to be talking about impeachment, but they'll never do it until the day Mnangagwa is gone. You're going to see it. Suddenly, the Herald will become the one that says, "We told you so." But right now, there is an impeachment in process. They will never say it. So let's look at Herald Zimbabwe. Guys, if you're in South Africa, newspapers are free. So you don't have to pay for newspapers. It's free to read newspapers. So Zimbabwe goes high-tech. That is the grain silos. Let me show you the grain silos. Sekuru wangu Wamasuka. He has introduced what is called AI-powered grain silos. These are in Kwekwe. Mnangagwa opened this yesterday. You can go check out that story in the Herald newspaper. And then 61,000 people visited the Victoria Falls in Q1. That means approximately 250,000 people visit Victoria Falls every year. And then what else is here? There is a lot going on here. You can go and check out the Herald newspaper. Always a lot of stories. But what I want you to notice is the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. They always carry a report on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. And the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has been decimated. There is nothing happening here. Look at the end here, what says total value, total traded value. So many companies with no trades. So this stock exchange, terrible, terrible. And also in Zig. So you can go check it out. And then let's go to Chronicle Zimbabwe. So I hope you guys are taking note of the top stories so that you understand what is top in the country. So my Jeremiah in H Metro, grain silos in Herald, and in the Chronicle newspaper, what is there today? In the Chronicle newspaper, AI driving silos, that's also the top story. And let's look at what else is there in the Chronicle newspaper, very important newspaper in Matabeleland. Let's look, major boost for literary sector. Who is this beautiful young lady? Inaugural worship experience on the cards in Victoria Falls. This is Charlotte Akanaka. So if you want to go and see her, go to Victoria Falls on May 24 at Zayoga Church. Guys, if there is a reason for you to go to church, it is Charlotte Kunaka. Go over there and check it out at Vic Falls. And then look at this. This is the league, MWOS 22 points. Scotland is now back to number 2 with Zimbabwe and Highlanders. Highlanders has done so well, guys. I cannot believe where they are. And Highlanders is likely to win the title this year if they continue this way. Look where Dynamos is at only 1 win out of all these matches. So Dynamos, they need to do something very, very quickly. They are supposed to be at the top there where Highlanders is, because these two teams are the same. So Highlanders and Dynamos, they are the same. They should be at the top there. Very, very badly done. Highlanders, Dynamos and Highlanders doing very, very well. You will see that Highlanders not funded to the same extent as Scotland, Zimbabwe, but they're doing very, very well. However, I see MWOS, they are going to struggle to hold that position. They're likely to lose that position very, very quickly. It's possible that they can lose that top position if they don't do what they've been doing. So what these guys have been doing is to win a lot of matches and to lose nothing. So they've not lost a match. You remember, this was Wangi. The old Wangi is MWOS. These guys bought the franchise and they have done very, very well. No losses and only 4 draws. Good job to these new guys who have come in on this franchise. Then I want to go to South Africa. So a lot is happening in South Africa. And let's start with the politics. So in South Africa, the billionaire Patrice Motsepe is set to be the ANC president and also South Africa president in 2027 after the ANC elective conference. So there are 2 slates, and one of the slates which has got Patrice Motsepe as the president and Oscar Mabuyane as the Secretary General, that is the Premier of the Eastern Cape, and also Senzo Mchunu, who is the Minister of Police, as the Deputy President. So this is the first slate, and then you've got the one that is made up of the youngsters who've got no money at all, like zero. These guys have got no money. So it's got Fikile Mbalula as the president over here, and then you've got on it people like Panyaza Lefusi, Ronald Damola, Stella Ndabeni Abrams, Silas Kalala, Kandi Mahambe, Hlala, and Kumbuzo Njaveni. So these are the other group that want to take over. But I believe that because of the financial muscle, this team of Patrice Motsepe is likely to take over. And this is the team that is supposed to challenge Jay-Z, Jacob Zuma. That is why they have this team here. The NC, if they put up this team, they are most likely to win because of the financial muscle, the ability to mobilize resources and take over. So South Africa is definitely going to have a new president in 2027, unlike our country of Zimbabwe that will be having the same president. If we don't remove Mnangagwa now, you're going to have Mnangagwa in 2030. These guys are already looking forward in 2 years' time, which is in about 18 months. South Africa will be looking forward to having a new president. And I think this will be a good thing, although that means the presidency is circulating in the same family. You know that Patrice Motsepe is the brother-in-law of the current president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. So the president's likely to go to this man, South African billionaire and African Rainbow Minerals founder, Patrice Motsepe. So that is a big trending story in South Africa today. Almost everyone is talking about it. Almost every newspaper has got it as a headline. Then we've got the story of Asiri Ndlovu, who went missing. He's a journalist. 4 men have been arrested in his disappearance, and his wife or partner also disappeared on the same day. They've not been seen, and it is said that they were working, or he was working on an important story. However, the guy that has been arrested, one of the guys is a person that deals in spare parts or car parts, and part of the car of Ndlovu have been found with him. This is after a reward that was offered by the South African Police Service was increased from 50,000 to 100,000. So someone has came forward with that information of what happened to this journalist who has been missing for so long. Then another big story is that South Africa is now owing Canada 1.68 billion. If you look in the Business Day newspaper, there's a story that says South Africa has got a loan of 1.68 billion from Canada. However, it's not clear how this loan was taken, how much was the interest rate, but within the budget of South Africa, it is written that this loan was signed on the 3rd of March, 2024. So South Africa has got a lot of loans. It's becoming more and more indebted. But look at the former top debt countries lending to South Africa here. So IMF, almost 5 billion. The New Development Bank, almost 2 billion. World Bank, 1 billion. In fact, 2 billion almost. And then the government of Canada is one of the top lenders with almost 1.68 billion rands. So that is in Canadian dollars, 0.120 billion Canadian dollars. However, what is not here is the Chinese debt. So I believe that South Africa owes China at least, if I'm not mistaken, 5 billion. So we're looking here between 5 billion and 10 billion, which South Africa could be owing to China. I'm sorry about that. Canada is very little, the amount, but I believe that China is got much more money that it has given to South Africa. And as I said to you last week, China is set to finance the nuclear program, the nuclear energy project of South Africa, to the tune of $5 billion, which is about 100 billion rands eventually. So they say 60 billion now, but I think it will eventually go up to 100 billion rands because of the exchange rate collapse of the South African rand. So you can see that the debt of South Africa, probably around $20 billion. Compare that to Zimbabwe. The debt of Zimbabwe is around 50 billion in terms of with the money that Zimbabwe owes. And Zimbabwe's interest rate or interest payments per week now over $2 billion. That is how bad the situation is in Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe has defaulted multiple times and to multiple lenders. Okay, so I think now we understand economically what's going on. Let's go to General Chiwenga. General Chiwenga, one of the most important people right now. He is the incoming president of Zimbabwe, one way or the other. There's no way that Chiwenga is not going to be president. So within a short space of time, you're going to see Chiwenga taking over as president. A lot of people are looking forward to Chiwenga taking over. And I believe that a debt is now known. So according to people that are well aware of these things, there is an understanding of at least the timeline for when Chiwenga is going to be president, because the current government of Mnangagwa is not functional. So what is left of Mnangagwa is just the last days or the last kicks. That is what is happening. Mnangagwa is no longer doing anything, no planning. Everything that Mnangagwa is doing right now is about staying in office. There is no program. And the government has run out of money. So Chiwenga right now is in the way or on the way to coming as president. What I always say is, can Chiwenga build a team? We need a very strong team behind Chiwenga, and we're all watching to see. Let's say Chiwenga comes into office. Who is going to be Chiwenga's vice president? Who is going to be working with Chiwenga from the economic side? Where is he going to get his funding? Is he going to work with the Russians, the Chinese, or is he going to work with the Americans? If Chiwenga works with the Americans, he's going to do very, very well. But if he goes with the Chinese, I can assure you that things are not going to do well. We're going to continue with the same. So how is Chiwenga going to be able to maneuver and move to the Americans? Those guys are very important. If you want to do well, you must be friends with the Americans. They are the home of capital. So every country that has done things with America, they've done well. Look at the Zambians. They're doing very well. Their economy is improving. And did you see where President Mabuyane went? One of his first state visits was to the USA. So it's very important to have a great connection to the United States. And I hope that Chiwenga, when he comes in, is going to come up with a plan to put in place a relationship, a good relationship with the USA. However, the mastermind of everything is Auxilia Mnangagwa. So everything that you're seeing currently is being masterminded by Auxilia Mnangagwa. Auxilia Mnangagwa is the one planning the next move. So she's placing her son. If you look at this young man here, he's now standing behind Mnangagwa everywhere he goes. That is Sean Mnangagwa. He's also now standing behind his mother. So check out this picture. You see, he's right there behind. And I can show you many, many pictures where he's now standing everywhere. So while Mnangagwa and his wife Auxilia are standing everywhere, he's the ears and eyes of the family. So initially, it was Kuda Mnangagwa who was being put in finance, but it's clear that Kuda Mnangagwa is ineffective. He's not able to do anything. Then Emerson Jr. Was placed around, but I believe that they've now settled on Sean as the next or preferred person. It looks odd to me, like I don't even know how someone believes Sean can be president, but that's what is happening right now. In front of your own eyes, Sean is being placed everywhere in high-level meetings. He's meeting very important people. And I don't know how Mnangagwa believes that this is going to work. I don't think Sean has got the necessary charisma to become a president. If a son of a president wants to be president, they have to be able to talk. And I think that is the biggest weakness that this family has got. They don't have someone that can talk, who can come out and gather people and talk in public and make speeches. So that is the weakness of the Mnangagwa family. They have not groomed these guys to talk. So while behind the scenes, Sean has managed to control security. So he's able to do crazy stuff, like the current abduction of Nyoka Mabunu. This was orchestrated by Sean Mnangagwa here in South Africa. Sean Mnangagwa literally came to South Africa to oversee the abduction of Nyoka Mabunu. And so from a security point of view, he is able to do stuff. However, the problem is they cannot communicate. You want someone that is able to convince people. And currently the communication is being handled by Collins, but I believe that the Mnangagwa family's biggest failure is lack of a successor, someone who is able to command and to speak and also to create a team. So Sean Mnangagwa has failed to create a team. He failed to connect with the right people. And that is where Valerio Spanda is going to come in within the next few months. He's going to step down as the Zimbabwe commander of the defense forces. So he's already reached the retirement age. He should have stepped down, but his term was extended. So by August, he's going to be out of office. And in the matrix of what is going to happen now, according to my understanding, the next person, so the changes are going to happen in ZANU-PF with the removal of some key people, including Obed Mpofu, who is set to be removed. That is my understanding, that Obed Mpofu is one of the people that are set to be removed. We're also going to see a possible stepping down of Kembo Mohadi. Mohadi has already handed in his resignation. So at the top, we're going to see a big change here with this man playing an important role, supporting Sean Mnangagwa here, who is seen as the preferred security person for Auxilia. So Auxilia, as it is right now, she's positioning herself for parliament. She's now the women's ambassador in parliament. And that means the Mnangagwa family don't want to go and they need to be pushed. So if Chiwenga wants to be president, he must be willing to push these people out. And it's important for him to do it and do it without even hesitating. So the push must be quick and sudden. So I'm waiting to see what Chiwenga is going to do, because if it does not move, they are going to move and it's going to be quick. However, I believe that totally 99% of the military totally support Chiwenga. They want him to be president, and Zimbabweans also want him to be president. Right, I think I've covered these newspapers. everything that is important today, the impeachment, and also I've covered the South African newspapers. You remember that Mnangagwa was invited to the UAE or to Dubai when he was in trouble. So the UAE is now in Malawi. So today, the foreign minister of Dubai, Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, is going to be in Malawi. So this was a statement issued yesterday. You can go check it out. He's having a state visit over there. Mnangagwa never took that over to go and stay and settle in Dubai, but he's got that house there. You remember we talked to General Wende about it. Mnangagwa, most likely, if things are to go bad, he's going to move to the UAE. When I'm talking about things going bad, I'm looking most likely at the health issues that Mnangagwa is suffering. Mnangagwa is, at the moment, over the past 2 weeks, there's been a marked improvement in Mnangagwa. So I observe Mnangagwa very, very closely. And the most important thing that you need to observe about Mnangagwa is his forehead. So if you look at Mnangagwa's forehead, when he's not doing well, there is a marked increase in the veins on his head. So you remember, this is the west. At his west, Mnangagwa was like this. So if you look at his head and you look on the swelling, that was with Mnangagwa here. And you look on yesterday. So this was yesterday when Mnangagwa was talking here. You can clearly see the difference. And my understanding is that this is related to medication. If you see Mnangagwa looking like this and veins growing on his head. So as we speak this past week, I've been observing Mnangagwa, and he's not having those big veins that he normally has when he's got massive issues or when he's just about to fall sick. So you have massive issues around Mnangagwa's health, and these are going to become more and more prevalent, more important as we go through the year. And similarly, Auxilia Mnangagwa herself, you can see that she's not doing well. I wish yesterday I was around, I would have shown you more pictures of Auxilia Mnangagwa. She's also having her own issues. And all this is going to play a big part going into the year end with the young son. This young son, Sean Mnangagwa, playing a bigger part, trying to control the guys in the military. And they will have to rope in Valerio here. And so the matrix is, if the portion of the army that is supporting Mnangagwa does well, then you're going to see a Valerio Spanda and Sean Mnangagwa at the top. But if the majority of the army that is supporting Chiwenga succeeds, then you're going to see a more of a GNU kind of government. So Chiwenga is more likely to compromise and work with the opposition and create a more successful country. So economically, a Chiwenga government is much better for Zimbabwe than a continuation of the dynasty. So the dynasty is, instead of going to 2030, they will push for a Sean Mnangagwa and a Valerio Spanda at the top. And to me, it's odd. I cannot even see how someone thinks Sean Mnangagwa can be president. I don't see it. I went to meet Sean Mnangagwa in Harare. I always tell you about this story. And he ran away. So he literally could not meet me. And that is, I could see when that happened, I could see that this young man is not yet there. So let me tell you what happens when you look at these guys. So from a security point of view, if you are dealing with someone that is really in control, you can see it. They are not rushed. They are deliberate, and everything that they do, you can almost know what is the next move that they're going to do. But you also not know what is the next move that they're going to make. For Chiwenga, it's a slow grind. So what we call a slow grind, like he's going to the presidents, you can see him going, but you can't stop him. That is what is happening with Chiwenga. It's been coming for a very long time. With Valerio Spanda, he depends on someone else making the decision, someone making the appointment. Valerio Swanda has got no team. He's got no one, except if he's appointed. There's no way that he can become a president. However, Chiwenga, you can see when he goes to the Vatican, he's got a plan. When he goes to Iran, he's got a plan. When he goes to a place, he's in charge. And when he arrives at a certain place, there's no question politically who is in charge. So this is what is lacking in a team like this team of Sean. And I think most of you saw the prophecy by Ian Jove. And I was laughing when people were saying they're talking about Chamisa. They were not talking about Chamisa. They were talking about this young man here. There will be an attempt to push him in. That is how I interpreted it. Quite a big attempt to push him forward so that he can take over from Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is going to try to make one of his sons the president, but backed by Valerio Swanda here, PV, as a key part of managing the guys in the security structures. But to me, almost 90% of the security structures, most of the guys I talk to, they don't want this. They want a Chiwenga presidency. And they also want the retired guys to play a big part. That is also Moyo and the rest of the war veterans. A lot of respect for these guys in the military. And so today is not just about the impeachment. It's also about the security structure of Zimbabwe. Who is going to win? Mnangagwa and his family, or Chiwenga and the rest of the military guys? So the majority of the military guys want him to be president, and it can no longer continue the way it is. So today is a very important day. One way or the other, one person or one side has to win. Right, so let's see what happens. Let's see who's going to win. And in fact, let me see where is Chiwenga right now. Let's look at Minnie. Minnie has not published anything. It's crazy. When she's traveling, she doesn't seem to post a lot. Let's see if there's anything on the ZANU-PF websites on Chiwenga. So currently, I'm not seeing anything on Chiwenga on the ZANU-PF platforms. All I'm seeing is Mnangagwa's face. And then obviously, Tino Machakaire, he's said something about the health sector. I don't think it's serious. Building a hospital is not the issue. The issue in Zimbabwe is managing the primary health care. So primary health has collapsed and everyone is now going to hospitals. So that is the problem in Zimbabwe. And I think that needs to be restructured to make it work. Let's see what Collins Mnangagwa is saying. So if you go to Instagram, that is controlled by Collins Mnangagwa. So let's see what is happening there. So currently, I'm going to kind of leave that because I'm not having my main computer here, my main system. So I'm not able to see this. But you can go to the Instagram ZANU-PF party, and they've got an important page there where most of the stuff that you don't see in the main pages, you're going to see it on Instagram. ZANU-PF is very big on Instagram. So let's see what ZANU-PF 2024 is saying. And I want to show you guys if they posted Chiwenga. Sometimes they do post Chiwenga on this page. So let me share with you, in fact, very quickly, I'll share with you what is important to them. So the Mnangagwa family, as I said, they're in control of this page. And you can see here, they're showing health. They are rating the health stories. So that's NetFarm. That's Mtulingube there. Mtulingube, very important to Mnangagwa family. He's like the guy who holds the bag for the Mnangagwa family. You can see here Chatunga with Collins. As I said, Collins, very important in controlling the media space for the young people. But Collins is not able to talk. The biggest problem with the Mnangagwa family is no one can talk. So they're able to do stuff, but the problem is talking. No one can describe anything. So they rely on, for example, Owen Muda. Owen Muda is the strategist. He's the one that plans everything. I wanted to show you the dress. I don't know what's up with this dress. This is one of the craziest dresses I've ever seen. Oxlade Mnangagwa wearing. I think they've taken out the picture. There was a nice picture here showing the dress. And I don't think she liked it. So they removed it. But I'll find it for you. I've got a screenshot already. So this is where the Mnangagwa family communicates, controlled by Collins on these pages. And many young people go here to watch these pages. So Mnangagwa reacting to the story about health over here. But obviously, it's part of a bigger and broader picture. There is a problem. And Mnangagwa is aware of it. They're trying to do a lot to appear as if they're in control, but they're actually not in control. Right, I think we've covered everything from a bigger picture perspective. Today is very important. Mnangagwa family is on the verge of being removed. So the whole Mnangagwa family, and they are fighting for their lives, specifically because of the health issues with Mnangagwa and Auxilia, and the fact that the youngsters can't speak, they cannot communicate, and they've not built a team. So there is no team behind the Mnangagwa family, except if they use the military strength of Valerio. So that is where they are, and this is their point of failure. So if something happens here, if somehow Valerio decides not to go with their plan, everything's going to collapse. So it's basically the center, with Sean Mnangagwa as the next person in line in the dynasty. So that is how this thing is going to go. And with Tagwire, Tagwire is totally neutralized. No one likes this man. If he was to do an election, he would lose very, very badly. People don't like Tagwire. So I think I've covered everything. Look at Mnangagwa very, very closely. He's doing well right now. I think Mumve Urukushanda, he's doing a bit well. But you're going to see this deterioration is going to continue. The health issues are going to play a big part in terms of what happens next to Mnangagwa. And let's look at the maneuver. Is Chiwenga able to surprise Mnangagwa? If he's able to do it, then we're going to see an impeachment today. Right, I think I've covered everything. Now let's go to my sponsors. And I want to apologize. Yesterday, our transport had an accident in Harare, in Zimbabwe. So while we're transporting the bro wipes, our transport had an accident because of the bad roads. So the bro wipes were supposed to arrive yesterday. In Bulawayo, they've arrived. So you're now able to receive these ones. Very big wipes. Why do we give wipes? When you're going to bedroom, wash your hands. Usapinde bedroom, so make sure you're clean, and you can also use it to wash your other things, and you're clean, and make sure that you don't cause other people infections. So wipes are very important. We've got Gamba Women's Club. Every month we'll be giving gifts to people who buy Mve. And this month we're giving people who bought 2 packets already a free Mve, a free packet of Pro Wipes. This is worth $5 in South Africa. So in Zimbabwe, it's probably worth $20. So we'll be giving you a free packet. You don't have to pay anything. My guys will call you. And then next month, obviously, it will be 3 packs. If you buy 3 packs, we've got another gift. So every month, there's a free gift for people who buy. So buy your packet of Mve. You can see how well it's working for Mnangagwa. He's doing very, very well after drinking Mve. And then, obviously, we're also going to be doing diaspora. So if you're in the diaspora and you don't have a funeral policy, you don't have a life policy, you don't have a pension, you don't have a plan for land, we're coming to you. My guys are going to contact you. Specifically, we want to eliminate GoFundMe. We don't want people who say, GoFundMe for burial. So we're going to eliminate that. We don't want people who die in the diaspora and they now say, GoFundMe. So I'm talking to a number of people now, so that if you are in the diaspora, you're able to pay a small amount, like $10 a month, even if you don't have papers. Then if you pass away, people like Mkoma Wangu, more boys can carry your body and you'll be buried. Do you know how many people this year we've had to do GoFundMe for burials. We don't want that. That is poor planning. So we're going to come up with a plan very soon. My guys will be in touch with you guys. With a database of over 10,000 people here at Gambakwe who are able to be part of this. We're also working with other people for life cover, especially the guys who are a bit more well doing well in Zimbabwe. We want to work on a plan for a medical facility which can do massive procedures, and that is down the line. And we're working with people who are in Zimbabwe who've got a health company. I'll let you guys know about that soon. Let's quickly look at the comments. People don't like him because they are foolish. Mnangagwa, no one likes Mnangagwa. Arku Nenzara. Pardon, the consistent award-winning liar. No facts. Yes, very consistent. Mnangagwa is going to go and is going to be gone. Yes, Snowball, Cindy Soko, Muku James, and the Varakashi team. So when I went to Zimbabwe, I went into ZANU-PF. When I was driving out, the Varakashi for ED guys were driving behind me on way. You are not a medical doctor. Do not mislead people or certain individuals' health, except if this came public? Yes, it's public. Vascular dementia. The doctor's statement has been revealed by Geza. And I want you guys to understand something about Geza. He is a hero. What is done has never been done. Tipe Puti Chete, I will never agree kuti Zimbabweans fight each other. The security sector of Zimbabwe is very small. So if you want people to fight each other in the army, you're basically asking very close people to fight each other. I don't think it's going to work. Mnangagwa needs to go. That's all. If I wanted, I could hack all your websites. If you wanted, I could hack all your websites. Don't do it. Guys, let me explain. It's true. If someone wanted to hack websites, they can do it. Someone hacked our Facebook 2 months ago. It's possible. And I had to be called by the Americans because your websites have been hacked. So it's possible. And I know who is behind it. And you must stop it. I know you're watching me. There's someone who's hacking websites. It's not worth it. Stop it. And then what else? Yakwana, Nguva Yekita impeachment. Mugoma Tongai, what you're saying, the most important thing. You are going to see drama today. One way or the other, you're going to see drama. And Chiwenga, don't underestimate Chiwenga. He's very important in what is going to happen next, because it's going to take over. And when Chiwenga takes over, we are going to see a totally different country. Chiwenga is got a totally different approach to Mnangagwa. These two men have got nothing in common. I often hear people saying, what's the difference between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa? Chiwenga is going to bring progress in our country. Ever since Mnangagwa came into office, nothing has worked. So Chiwenga is going to do very, very well. You're going to see a different country. And the support that Chiwenga is going to get across the country and the control that he has, it will be massive, because Chiwenga actually has control. Mnangagwa has lost control. He cannot control anything that is happening, and is therefore using his sons. And as I said, the sons are not able to talk. They're not able to plan. And most of the time, they're only worried about their own pocket. Look at what is happening with Wikino. That is terrible. Right, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you again a bit later. As you can see, I am not at home. That is because we are observing what is happening with Nyoka, and I will let you guys know in the evening what has happened with the documents. Those documents are currently not available. We tried to access the documents, but we failed. And I don't know if other people have managed, but myself, I failed to get those documents yesterday. And then, obviously, there was supposed to be protest, or there's supposed to be a protest. So I will ask the guys to tell us where the protest is happening. I'll try to call the organizers tonight to come and talk about the protest here on Gambakwe. Okay, I think I've covered everything. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good day to you.